Intarsia is a color work technique that involves using blocks of colors. So you can see here I have some white, then I have a block of purple, and some more white. And when you're not knitting with a particular color, you might store that color on a bobbin, and I'll show you how those work too. But today I want to show you about how to do reversible Intarsia. When Intarsia is knit in a traditional sense with usually stockinette, the back side will have strands of color over other sections, something like this, that make it less attractive on the back than it is on the front. In reversible Intarsia, it's exactly the same. This is accomplished by knitting in knit 1, purl 1 rib. So I will show you how to move your yarn in reversible Intarsia. I'm going to start by slipping the first stitch, and then I'm going to knit in knit 1, purl 1 rib to my first color section that's different. I'm going kind of quickly here because I'm assuming you know how to knit and purl. And now we're to the purple. Now you can see there's a space between. Whenever you're knitting Intarsia, you want to make sure that you're stranding your color so that it twists when you're working. So the way I make sure that I always get a good twist is I make sure that the old color that I was using, which in this case is the white, is on top of the new color that I'm going to pick up. So I'm about to begin knitting with purple, and I'm discarding the white, so you can see that I have those crossed so that the white is over the purple. Excuse my dog. And I continue to knit 1, purl 1. Now I'm to the end of my purple, and I'm going to switch back to the white using my bobbin. I make sure my purple is stranded over, and I release some of my white from my bobbin, and I continue knitting. It's okay, Oreo. It's just the neighbors mumping around. No big deal. Now, you saw how that would be done in any kind of Intarsia. Now I want to show you how to move these colors from their current position over. So I'm actually going to move the purple 6 stitches over to the right here. If I turn my work, I'm going to slip that first stitch, purl the second, then knit, purl. I'm getting a little short, but I only have 2 stitches left, so I'll just do it that way. Okay, it helps if you keep your bobbins short. Normally I wouldn't knit with it that short, but since I knew I was going to be discarding it pretty soon, I just went ahead and left it. Now I need to move my purple across, and of course I don't want to move it like this because you can see it's not going to be very pretty. So I'm going to use a little trick, and that is I'm going to slip my stitches between where I am and where the yarn is that I need. I could slip this one, but I really don't need to, because what I need to do now is take the purple and I want it to cross over my purl bumps. So you can see here is a purl bump. I'm going to go ahead and let that purple cross there, but I'm going to strand it behind my knit stitch because that's a purl bump on the other side. and I'm going to zigzag back and forth until I reach the point where I left off. Now, make sure my white's on top, my purple's on the bottom, and I can begin knitting my rib again. When you're this close to the needle, that white or the purple that has stranded across is going to show, but it won't show when those sections here recess into the ribbing, when it works its way up a little ways. So I'm going to keep going here across the other purple till I get to the end, and then I want to extend my purple to the left side and show you how that's done. So once again, I've reached a point where I have a new color, but I don't want to pick up that color yet. I'm just going to knit right past it, just like this. Keep going. I'm going to do 6 stitches here as well. Now I need my white, but as you can see, it's way over here and I don't want to strand across. So I'm going to do the same thing again, but backwards, slipping the stitches that I just knitted and zigzagging my yarn back and forth over those purl bumps, just like that. Now I'm going to begin knitting with white, so I'm going to have my purple come up over the top of my white, just like that, and continue knitting with the white. Now you can see that I don't have any strands going across, and what was stranded will be eventually disappearing into those recesses. Let me just repeat that process for you one more time. This time I'm going to move my white back over towards the center again, just so you can see again how that works. I've reached my purple, but I don't want to pick it up yet. I'm just going to keep going. I don't even have to move it to the back of my work. I can just keep knitting until I reach the point where I'm ready to pick up my purple again. These are really long needles, but I'm not used to working with straight needles, so I'm a little fiddly with them today. Now I want to move my purple. So I'm going to slip the white that I just knitted to where my purple is, and then weave that purple right over those purl bumps to the point where I need to begin knitting again. Now, I had been knitting with the purple, or rather I had been knitting with the white, and now I'm going to pick up the purple. So I want the white to come over the top of the purple, and I begin knitting with the purple. Crossing those strands like that prevents you from getting holes in your work. It's a standard Intarsia technique. Now, here I'm going to go ahead and pick up the white again, and as you can see, my white is way over here. So I'm going to take it off my bobbin and pull some slack out and re-secure it. Then I'm going to slip all those purple stitches out. Actually, don't need to do that last one. And then I'm weaving that back and forth again. I'm just moving the yarn as if I would if I was getting ready to go from a knit stitch to a pearl or a pearl to a knit. Now, I was using purple. I'm picking up white. I want the purple to go over the top of the white. Now I'm ready to begin knitting again. There we go. Oop, yarn tail. And done. So you can see with this swatch, I was able to take the purple over 6 stitches this way and 6 stitches this way, and it's reversible. It looks the same on the front as it does on the back, except for the yarn tails, which we'll weave in when we're finished. And that's the reversible Intarsia technique.